Everybody, before the break, we did a lot of multiplying using an open area model, and y'all are experts at that, and that is going to help you tremendously. We today, though, are going to be learning a strategy that will be stacked, and it will get you ready for the standard algorithm. Algorithm just means a procedure that maybe your parents are used to using, but we're getting ready for that. Stacked is the next step. So open area model for 3 groups of 54, quick review, 3 groups of 54 we're breaking. We know that it's 4 and a 50. So we are going to show those values. 3 times 5 is 15. So 3 times 50 is going to be 150. Can you see that? And then 3 times 4 is 12. Bring them together and we get 162, right? Why is this a good, there's a lot of reasons this is a good strategy to use, but one of them is that I can see the value. I can see that it's 3 groups of 50, not 3 groups of 5, which is an easy mistake to make. However, if I had in mind that it was 3 groups of 50, if I had made the mistake and just multiplied 3 times 5, and I just got 15 and 12 as my final product, and my final answer was 27, I will be able to see that there was a mistake because 27 isn't even one group of 50. So seeing the values is going to be really important for us going forward. How do we set up our problem so that it can be done in a stacked way? Let's do it. You're going to have 54, but there's 3 groups of 54, right? You've seen that before. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to take it, again, we're going to remember that it's a 4 and a 50, not a 5 and a 4, right? Keep in mind the values. We're going to multiply 3 groups of 4, and that sometimes it's helpful to write it over to the side, but 3 groups of 4 is 12. Got it. The next amount we have to multiply is 3 groups of 50. When you're first starting out, it's helpful to write it so you can be sure you're remembering that it's 50, not 5. But 3 groups of 5 is 15. So 3 groups of 50 is going to be 150. And you'll see sometimes I write it from here to here so that I have my columns lined up. And my final answer is 162. So it's going to look kind of like the strategy your parents might use, but we're headed there. We're still very aware of the values. And 162 is a reasonable answer for 3 groups of 54. Why? Because when I estimate, 3 times plain old 50 was 150. And my answer, my final product and my estimated product are close enough to where I'm not going to worry about it. Let's try another one. Let's do 7 groups of 265. And you can do it along with me. Hopefully you have a whiteboard or some paper that you can be doing this with me so we can get used to a new procedure, which you're going to like, I think. Okay, it's a 5, a 60, and a 200. 7 times 5, 7 groups of 5. And I always start with this number, 7 groups of this, 7 groups of this, 7 groups of this, right? So 7 times 5 is plain old 35, thinking about keeping my columns lined up. 7 times 60. Well, I know 7 times 6 is 42, so 7 times 60 is going to be 42 with that extra 0. So when I write it, I think, and that might be a little tricky, but it helps me keep my numbers lined up, but it's 420. And then 7 groups of 200. 7 groups of 200. 7 times 2 is 14. It was 100, so there's those 2 extra zeros bumping it into the right place. So we've got the 2 zeros and then 14. Partial product, partial product, partial product, final product. And these are the same numbers that you saw when you were doing the open area model. You would still get these same partial products. They would just be in a different form, right? Let's do another one. Say we have a decimal. Let's do $3.95 times 6. So I have 6 groups of $3.95. When I have money, I know that $3.95, if I'm thinking about it all in pennies, it's really 395 pennies, isn't it? So I'm just going to make it easy on myself and think about it in one unit. A unit would be pennies instead of dollars and dimes and pennies. So all pennies, just think of it as 395 for now. 6 times 5 is 30. And again, you want to make note that I'm starting with the bottom number, 6 groups of this, 6 groups of that. So 6 times 90. 6 times 9 is 54. 6 times 90 is 540. And then 6 groups of 300. 6 times 3 is 18. With 2 more zeros, we got that. 2,370. So if you have money, just ignore the decimal for now and think of it all in pennies instead of two. This is two different units or 3 different units. Okay. The only other one that might, and I think we'll wait on double digit by double digit. You won't have that until Friday. So just practice the stack strategy. Think about keeping those values evident and showing so that you can think about them. Have fun.